as a political watcher, I have noticed a certain, if you like, trend where there is this back and forth between the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and your flag bearer. And these are people who are not contesting, i.e. the same position. And so to see that happening, it's quite intriguing because you don't see that kind of exchange between the president and the former president, which you would expect because they are on the same level. And you clearly have indicated that you don't necessarily need to look at, the vice presidential candidate because really it is about the person at the forefront. Why do you think there's that trend where we see this back and forth? Some people call it jabs.
It is a strategy of NPP.
But we have former presidents responding as well.
When they want to deal with a big man, they send somebody who is not of his stature, so that in trying to respond to that person, you bring yourself down to his level. And it has been NPP strategy all along. You remember when President Mills was there, NPP pushed somebody who later became the Central Regional Minister. He's now dead. He was permanently attacking Professor Mills, calling him names. There were times he called Professor Mills a chamber pot and all other things. So it was, some job that has been assigned to him, so that should Professor Mills decide to respond, then he brings himself to the level of that person. So I see that happening with Dr. Bawumia and President Mahama.
So why does the president
it is a strategy for them? The former president, you see that most of the times, it is not the former president who reacts to Bawumia. It is what former President Mahama has said that Bawumia is pushed to react. And at some point, NPP has tried to play that trick on some of us, because consistently, where we had to engage in any media engagement, you see that somehow they were arranged with the media house. Now, General Secretary Asidun Ketia is going, let's put Director of Communication or somebody below a General Secretary. And I've been complaining. That's why I have said consistently that, no, if you want a General Secretary to meet me, bring your General Secretary and let's engage. If you want Directors of Communications to engage, I have a Director of Communication whom I'll give to you so that you can engage. So it is a strategy of NPP that they will just want to match a senior person with somebody down there, so that when you go down to engage, then you are bringing yourself to his level. You saw that happening with Abronye, who is persistently pushed to attack President Mahama. So if President Mahama decides to reply Abronye, then the conversation is brought to the level of Abronye. That is why the lawyers of President Mahama have decided to resort to the law.
Resorted to the law, okay, so to deal with him in respect of that. Well, just for purposes of the record, we had here earlier, I indicated that we had here the Director of Communications for the NPP, and we had intended to have the General Secretary, John Buedu, but he couldn't make it. And so we definitely have, and he did say that.
That is always going to be the case. If I had accepted that I was coming to meet John Buedu here, you come and you see Bawumia Samoa sitting here. So that when you are talking, the conversation is now reduced to the level of Director of Communication instead of General Secretary.
They are in a retreat, and so he couldn't make it. But Mr. Sedinke, that's quite a serious allegation you're making.
That's what they have been doing. That's what they have been doing. That's what they have been doing. It's not about your station alone. It's about several stations in the country. That's what they've been doing. So I have always told them that if you want me to engage in some discussion, and it's going to be General Secretary by and General Secretary, well, I'll consider it. But I will not come and engage with somebody who is an appointee of my colleague General Secretary elsewhere.
Very well. So